Hey guys, this is Neon Nezzy back again with another Destiny Nights video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the shops and a quick auto team for Hell mode for Medina faction. If you guys want to see more auto teams for the rest of the factions, bosses, let me know. So first of all, guys, time shop. Here you guys can get a variety of goodies. What you guys can get are some materials. I would suggest not buying materials. Crests like this one over here, if they have really holy cow. So these two are really good. I would suggest that if they have 5 or higher percentage base stat, then they're worth purchasing. And then of course there's some 3-star hero fragments which I would not recommend buying. If you guys really need it and you guys can find a secret dungeon for it, then that's fine. But otherwise, you know, you don't have to spend money to get 3-star hero fragments. 4-star and 5-star hero fragments, guys, in my opinion, are worth it. Every now and then, you guys can get a legendary awakening material, which I would say is worth it because it's simply one of the rarest items in the game. Just purchasing Just purchasing these crests is so good. Orbs, you guys can purchase orbs, but I prefer not to purchase orbs simply because orbs you can farm all day long, every day. Alright, crests, you guys need to spend, like, for free, you guys can farm 3 of each giant's dungeon, so that's basically 3 crests each, and they might not even be percentage-based crests. And then what we're going to have is you're going to have to pay rubies to farm it again 3 more times, and that, in my opinion, is worth it. 100 rubies in each giant's boss, but other than that, I would not recommend going any further than that. So simply because of the reason that there's a limit or a quota on how many crests you can get per day for free, I would recommend trying to get good crests from the shop. I'm not sure if you can get skilled. I mean, you can get like evolved dragoons and stuff like that, I think, but I've never seen a skilled dragoon, so I'm not sure if you can get it. But if there is one, I would highly recommend you guys purchase it. So let's head over to the black market. So black market, I would recommend buying all kinds of keys. All right, keys and swords, buy them all. Legendary awakening materials, I would recommend not buying them simply because they are worth 3,000 LAMs. I'm late game, so every now and then I will invest in superior summoning scrolls just to summon, but they're not worth it. And exchanging rubies for gold early game might be worth it, but only if you have an excess of rubies. All right, like let's say you guys have a really good team. You guys, this is the point at where I would start trading rubies for gold in early game, because late game, just with the video I recently uploaded, you guys already know how to get gold, so you guys really don't need to exchange rubies for gold. But let's just say you have an amazing team, but you're just lacking gold to to enhance the orbs and crests on the unit, and you guys already know that you're not going to be summoning this week for the whole week, then go ahead and spend 4,000 or 2,000. It's what I did when I was early game, just because I had a lot of trouble farming gold. But with the gold guide, I really feel people should not be buying the gold. But then again, it's up to you because it's your account. Materials and such, again, if you guys are early game and you guys have not been able to get to this applies for the time shop and the black market for the materials to awaken your units. If you guys have not been able to reach level 8 of the awakening dungeon and you guys want to make your units 6 stars awaken, but you guys just don't have the resources to, then go ahead and purchase the awakening materials. I did it myself when I was early game, but this is really like a last minute resort kind of thing. It's just like wait for a bit and build your teams, and you will be able to build to have a really maxed out team, awaken and everything. Because if you are buying this stuff, you can buy them if you're pay to win, but if you're free to play, I would advise against buying them. Also, every now and then you guys will be getting a really, it's not that rare to get a 5-star unit in the black market. Generally costs about 8,000 rubies, which in my mind is worth it if you really want that 5-star unit bad. Okay, if you really want them bad, because if you summon 3,500 twice, I think there's a decent chance of you pulling a Nat 5 when you summon 3,500 rubies twice. But at the same time, the chance of that natural 5-star being the natural 5-star that you need is very low. So that's basically 7,000 plus 1,000 rubies, trading off for some random things in exchange for a surefire natural 5-star that you guys would absolutely love to have on your team. Granted, though, if you guys buy the natural 5-star from the shop, you will not be getting any fodder, so keep that in mind. Next, let's head over to the world map. A lot of people have been asking me how to clear the Medina stage. So what I'm going to do here is just tell you guys about these units, why I'm bringing them over. One really way to defeat this boss, even in auto mode, is to have units that break. The 3 units here, Paper Soho, Paper Eve, and Paper Sierra, they do not break the boss, but they have the resources to take him out. So let's take a look at them really quick, and I'll dial them down a bit. All right, so here's Soho, and he's on concentration. He's on basically trash, orbs, and crest simply because I don't want to overwhelm you guys with stats. Just to make things a little bit less intimidating, let me just go ahead and remove all of these. It's going to cost me a little bit of gold, but I'm not very particular about it. So these are his stats. I would recommend people try to get at least a 20% skill cooldown reduction on their units, but it doesn't really matter for hard mode. He's at 6% right now. I bring him in for mainly because of his defense buff and the fact that he can remove a debuff from his team and his heals. So he's basically somebody there to give me defense buff and heal me while removing a debuff. And his first skill has attack speed buff, which makes your runs a little bit faster, so that's nice. Then we have Paper Eve, who, if you guys have, do not feed her. Her leader skill is absolutely insane because it reduces the damage taken by all heroes by 15%, and she's also ideal for this boss because she is paper. You can put her in the leader skill, get that 15% damage reduction, and still have the advantage when you guys are dealing with the Medina boss. She is on Iron Wall or Iron Guard, Iron Wall. And she's on trash crest again. Let me just go ahead and remove the crest just so that the stats aren't too intimidating. Boom, 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 boom. All right, so these are basically her stats. I bring her in because she can, again, remove a debuff, heal, and she has this special attack which can steal life. She's a very interesting support unit because she does damage, and as she does damage, she'll actually lifesteal and replenish your health. She works very, very differently from most supports. And this skill has a damage taken reduction buff. So I think the main problem with Medina boss is that he can do immense damage while removing your debuffs. So it's important to have, in my opinion, like at least 2 debuffs or 2 buffs on your team that the boss will have trouble removing. So Soho gives the defense buff and Paper Eve gives the damage taken reduction buff. Next is my damage dealer, for whom I'll be using Paper Sierra. Again, all of these are natural 4-star, so chances of you guys getting these are actually pretty high. But again, I'm telling you guys what they do so that you guys can build your own team, bring in units that do the same thing, and you guys should have an auto team ready to go out. I have my Sierra on concentration. You guys can build her on Iron Wall if you guys want. She scales off of defense, and I just build her on concentration so that she can crit. The best thing about her is her second attack, which can actually is a special attack. The dog that she's riding, or the tiger, it has that little blue headpiece, like the blue gem on its head, it fires off lasers from there, and the lasers can hit 1 or 2 units at a time, depending on if they line up or not. It's a very thin laser, but it can make it run faster simply because it deals damage to multiple units at once, or it has the capability of dealing damage to multiple units at once. Okay, so I built her on concentration, but again, you could build her on Iron Guard and Grit. Try to go for defense and cooldown reduction of like 20 again, but mine has 15% skill cooldown reduction. It's not the best, but it'll work. All through these units, Soho, Eve, and Paper Sierra, I would recommend you build them all on Iron Wall or Iron, I think it's called, I forget what it's called, but you guys get my point, right? The blue orbs. And then for Crest, go with Grit. Sierra, if you guys are kind of towards, if you guys have proper Crest, then go ahead and give her concentration. They do a little bit more damage than if you were to build her on Iron Wall. And then for the Striker, you guys can bring in anybody. Some Strikers can give you guys defense buffs or, you know, HP buffs to make your teams faster. I don't really need a leader, at least I don't think. So let's go ahead and take this boss on. It might take a while, but it should be pretty safe because we have the heals, we have the damage reflection shield, we have a damage taken reduction buff, we have a defense buff, and we have 2 cleanses. So this should be fine. I'm going to put it on this speed, so just so that I can commentate what's happening. We just got the damage reflection shield, so as things attack us, they'll be taking damage too. We just activated Paper Sierra's laser, so there it is, hitting 2 units at a time, making it run just a little bit faster. Here we go. We got removed defense, we got knocked down, we got burned, but it's all good because we still have heals going, and right now we also have Eve's second ability, which is the lifesteal. So even though we were burning, we weren't taking a lot of damage simply because we were also stealing back life. Now we're getting into the boss section where here's Gilbert. He's annoying simply because he can remove buffs. So you can't counter that. Only way you can counter it is by having multiple units that buff your team up. So we just got a defense buff, attack speed buff. We're taking him down pretty quick. We got the lifesteal buff going on here. Again, if you guys have somebody to break, go ahead and bring them in because even on auto, the AI will apply the break such that it only gets activated when the break circle is up. But as you guys can see, even without the break, we didn't take much damage. We had the buffs for us. We had the heals, we had the cleanses, and we were just fine. And that was actually a pretty good clear. It was less than a minute. So again, that's how I would go about taking on Medina. Make sure you guys have at least have 2 buffs that are going to mitigate damage that is incoming. I had 3, but you guys can get away with 2. Have something to deal damage just to make your runs a little bit faster. And make sure to have heals because without heals, you're not going to get very far. Also, if you guys want, you guys can go ahead and bring in somebody to cleanse, but it's not the biggest deal in the world. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Go ahead in the comment section, and my next video is actually going to be like a Q&A. So ask me all the questions that you guys want in this video right now, and I will answer it in my next video, like live on the video. Should be pretty interesting for people to hear back reviews, and if, let's just say, you ask a question, don't be embarrassed to ask it because there might be other people out there that want to ask the same question, but they just didn't feel like asking it, which is fine. So yeah, let me know what you guys want to want help with. If you guys have any questions, ask me now. If you guys have any requests for future videos, let me know in the comment section down below. If you guys like my content, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. And until the next time, guys, Neon out.